Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Lens Productions. So today we're looking at this rumor that's floating around the internet these days, whether or not GM is going to build an 8.3 liter V8 Duramax. Is this true? Well, GM has actually not confirmed or denied the rumors. And if you think this seems a bit contrary to the current trend of smaller displacement engines, well, yeah, you're right. But if it is true, there's certainly got to be a reason behind it. So let's explore what those reasons possibly could be. First, we'll look at the current situation. The current Duramax has been around since 2017, whereas the original design was actually brought out in 2001 and was originally a co-developed engine with Isuzu Motor Company back in the day. Now, since its introduction, there's been some changes in the market, and this engine has had to deal with EGR coolers, DPF filters, which are diesel particulate filters in 2007, and the implementation of diesel exhaust fluid in 2012. So it's quite possible that GM's Duramax is due for a total change. Now let's look at the competition. Both Ford and Dodge over this time period have bounced back and forth a lot in engine size and design. Well, GM has pretty much stayed true to the 6.6 liter, which from a reliability standpoint is good because it's tried a tested and true engine, but it has been modified and had to adapt to a lot of different things over this time period. So, well, maybe it's time for a new design. A couple of years ago, Ford actually increased the size of their gas engine in their heavy duty trucks from a 6.2 liter to a 7.3 liter V8, and they made it work. And in talking to someone to research this video, this guy actually owned a 6.2 liter and a 7.3 liter V8 Super Duty Ford and said that he really hasn't seen any noticeable differences in fuel economy, but he has definitely seen a huge difference in performance. Now, when motorheads out there keep seeing headline after headline about electrification of vehicles and all the other nonsense that's out there today, when news of a bigger displacement engine hits the headlines, it is definitely going to capture people's attention. This engine is a full 1.7 liters larger than the current motor. And the last time I remember seeing an engine this large was the Vortec 8100, which is an 8.1 liter gas engine V8 back in 2002. And looking at the mechanics of the engine, I can't see why GM would be able to bore out the 6.6 liter V8 to make it into an 8.3 liter V8 engine. So it's almost certain that they will have to build a new engine block. Now, why do this today when the trend is towards smaller engines? Well, if GM is considering this, they are actually not the only manufacturer to be doing this. Porsche also appears to be going down this road. They actually recently announced that they are bringing back their acclaimed 4.0 liter engine, and they will also be keeping their 2.0 liter turbocharged flat 4 engine. Why? Well, the larger engines allow you to reduce cylinder pressure, which lowers nitric oxide, which makes the EPA happier or any other environmental organization that the manufacturer might have to deal with where they're building the vehicles and selling them. But a downside of a larger engine is less fuel economy. Now, every car maker out there has to battle CAF standards, which are corporate average fuel economy regulations, in addition to the emissions regulations. But it may be possible, and GM has been known to increase sizes of engines in the past while maintaining or increasing fuel economy. So, well, who knows? This may be the best balance between power, fuel economy, and emissions. But has GM leaked the engine to gauge the public opinion or the opinion of potential buyers? Well, I guess only time will tell. With a bigger displacement engine, this does have the potential to be used in more applications as well. And for the applications that don't need as much power and torque, such as a 3/4 ton pickup, They could detune the model, which would actually add to the longevity and reliability of the engine. And it would lead to lower cylinder pressure, which would aid in the engine producing less nitric oxide, which would also help it produce less emissions coming out of the tailpipe. In addition, you would not need as much EGR gas in the engine to cool it. And this would be great because EGR gas can be quite destructive to a lot of engine components, which goes back to the argument of increased reliability and longevity because EGR gas causes problems in the current 6.6 liter Duramax, causing a lot of clogged sensors like map sensors, etc. This would help GM meet EPA regulations for diesel engines because they are basically interested in three things: diesel particulate matter, which is the black soot coming out of the tailpipe, nitric oxide, and of course carbon monoxide. A bigger engine would produce more carbon dioxide than the smaller version, but the EPA doesn't currently monitor this as it is not a toxin. So, to this point, diesel engine manufacturers are more or less free to produce as much carbon dioxide as they want. I think the bottom line is that GM is trying to figure out a way to become king of the heavy duty truck segment again and compete with Dodge's latest Cummins diesel, which is putting out a whopping 1,200 pound feet of torque. And this new engine may be the answer for them. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we have to remember this is just all rumors at this point. But it's definitely something interesting to think about and consider. I have looked all over the internet in researching this video, and I can see all kinds of speculations about power output numbers and what they might be, but really no confirmation. I mean, when it comes to a diesel engine, of course, horsepower really doesn't matter, so you have to focus on torque because that's what really counts. Could this be a 1,200 pound feet of torque engine or 1,500? Well, I can pretty much say with certainty it's got to be more than 1,200 because they're gonna want to beat Dodge's current Cummins diesel and anything Ford might put out between now and then. So maybe the 1,500 number might be possible. Anyhow, do you think they're going to build it? Should they build it? Or will they build it? Or is this just all smoke and mirrors to throw off the competition? Please let me know in the comments below what you think. And thank you for watching the video and have a great day.